An immigration judge has ruled that Columbia University student Mahmoud Khalil is a national security risk and can be deported over his participation in pro-Palestinian demonstrations. Khalil, a legal U.S. resident, was the first student to be arrested as part of President Donald Trump's crackdown on student protests in support of the people of Gaza. A day after he was apprehended by police on March the 8th, he was sent to a detention center in Louisiana, far from his pregnant wife in New York. Let's get more on this from our Washington correspondent, Janelle Dumalaon. So what precisely has Khalil been accused of by the U.S. government?
Well, Aaron, the U.S. government has accused him of lots of things, from being a Hamas supporter, for failing to properly fill out paperwork that he had to fill out in his U.S. residency filing. But the meat of this case concentrated on whether Khalil could be deported according to a little-used federal statute. And I'm talking about the Immigration Nationality Act of 1952. And this is something that empowers the Secretary of State to decide that a non-citizen present in the United States is contravening U.S. foreign policy goals and could be removed because of that. Now, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has argued that because Khalil, a pro-Palestinian activist, is here in the United States, that means he is getting in the way of the U.S. implementing its foreign policy goal to combat anti-Semitism in the U.S. and outside of it. Now, in a memo that he submitted to the court, he also said that the efforts to remove Khalil will be part of a project to protect Jewish students from harassment or violence, especially in universities, even as he concedes that Khalil's actions were, quote, otherwise lawful. So the judge clearly sided with the government in this case, saying that the government met its burden to establish what they call Khalil's removability.
Now, this is a case that could set precedents for years to come in the United States. Has there been a response so far from Khalil or his lawyers?
Yes, so Khalil addressed the court after this ruling was issued. He said that due process was not present, that fundamental fairness was not present in the court today or in the whole process. He said, this is exactly why the Trump administration has sent me to this court, 1,000 miles away from my family. So you reminded our viewers earlier that, of course, he is in Louisiana, which is very far away from New York, where he shared a home with his pregnant wife. As for his lawyers, the response focused heavily on the free speech implications of the judge's ruling, saying that immigration law was weaponized to punish dissent. So part of their statement reads, if Mahmoud can be targeted in this way, simply for speaking out for Palestinians and exercising his constitutionally protected right to free speech, this can happen to anyone over any issue the Trump administration dislikes. We will continue working tirelessly until Mahmoud is free and rightfully returned home to his family and community.
So what exactly happens next? Briefly, if you could.
Well, as it stands, he can't be deported immediately. He has another federal case ongoing in New Jersey. He can't be deported while those proceedings are ongoing. Now, that case is going to look at whether his detention was lawful and whether, constitutionally speaking, he can be deported despite his First Amendment protected speech. Now, Khalid has until April 23 to file for a stay of deportation. If that deadline is missed, the judge can order him deported to Syria, where he was born, or to Algeria, where he is a citizen.
That was our Washington correspondent, Janelle Dumalaon. Thank you very much for your reporting.